Council is now called to order. Our chaplain of the day will be Pastor Catherine Minor Walker of New Jerusalem Fivefold Ministry Church. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilman Brown. Today is Pastor Walker's birthday as well, so we wish her a happy birthday and ask her to please come and lead us in prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to please stand if you wish. Pastor Walker.
Let us pray. Gracious God, how we thank you for this day. This is the day that you have made, and I surely will rejoice and be glad therein. 69 years. God, I thank you. God, right now, we come to lift up Clarksville, Tennessee, in the name of Jesus, God. God, we ask that you would look on us today, and God, give us wisdom to make decisions that you would have for us to make for the greater good of Clarksville, Tennessee, God. And God, we ask right now that you would bless the city council right now and bless the mayor, God. Not only him, the county mayor, God. Bless everybody that represents Clarksville, Tennessee as a whole, God. We just pray right now for understanding, compassion, and love right now in the name of Jesus, God. And God, we just bless your name with the highest praise, and that is hallelujah. We say thank you in advance for what you're getting ready to do. Speak to our hearts and speak to our minds right now. We decrease so that you can increase in us. In Jesus' great big name, we ask it all. And we believe it, we receive it, and in the book of Mark, you said we could have it. Amen.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members, please register your attendance. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
All members are present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We do have a couple of special recognitions. Councilman Smith, we'll recognize you first in the well for your recognitions.
Good evening. I see that we're filled to capacity, and that means a good thing. We got some people in here that's coming to hear what we have to say tonight. Well, tonight I will be presenting the 8th of August Emancipation Day Awards. I want to recognize those who were part of the team that worked behind the scenes and on the scene to make the 2025 8th of August Emancipation Day a grand celebration to remember at Dixon Park. Their help and support made it possible for hundreds of citizens and visitors from out of town to enjoy a free event open to the public, which many African Americans in Tennessee recognize as Freedom Day. The first recorded 8th of August celebration was held in Greenville, Tennessee in 1871, coordinated by Sam Johnson, a freed slave of President Andrew Johnson, who freed his people on August the 8th. The 8th of August has been celebrated for 154 years in Tennessee. I am reminded of the scripture of Exodus, chapter 12. When the Lord told the Israelites, he said, remember and celebrate the day that I brought you out of Egypt, the land of slavery. We all have experienced suppression and slavery in some shape, form, or fashion. America, for example, celebrates July the 4th to remember the day that it gained its freedom from Great Britain In 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, which declared the 13 colonies to be free and independent state. This was a pivotal moment. So tonight, I will recognize a few recipients of the 8th of August Award who helped to break the chains and to keep the dream of freedom alive. As I call your name, if you're here tonight, I'm going to ask you to come forward. Now, I know the policemen, there were a lot of policemen that were involved in securing the event. However, they couldn't be here because I asked Chief Bernadine that if he would just send one representative. And so it was several of them. But we're going to start out with Miss Lee Harpel, if she's here tonight. Is she here tonight? Yeah, I think they're in order, I think. Yes. And it reads as thus. You want to read? The 8th of August, Emancipation Day, chains are broken. That's what it looks like. If y'all can see it. Presented to Lee Harpel, thank you for lending a helping hand for the Emancipation Day celebration. Signed my name and Mayor Joe Pitts. Thank you. Get over here. Thank you. Okay, Mayor. Come back over. Our next group, I don't know if Wade Cooper is in here tonight. Wade Cooper, okay. And Bali, I don't think he's here tonight. Okay, now we will have another award. And this, before we do the policeman, I want to do a special recognition to Carver Casey. Is he here tonight? Carver Casey. They're not letting a lot of people in downstairs. I tried to get him in, and he said he couldn't come in because of the fire marshal. So we are presenting that to him, and I would give that to him personally. He has been giving a continuous charitable donation to support this day. He has been giving for 6 years, nonstop, always giving. This program is put together on donations, donations by citizens. And we have some mentionable, I want to mention some people that are always giving. And that would be, let me mention, let's see. Turn it around. I can't. Okay. Now, for the police department, I'm going to ask, is Miss Hubbard here? Yes, Sergeant Hubbard. How you doing? We want to present this award to you as well. And listen, you're taking this back to the police department, and y'all gonna hang it up in a nice place.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
To let people know that you did support something for African Americans, and we appreciate that. You do it every year. And so I'm gonna ask you to read off the names of the people. Or do you want me to do it?
I can do it.
Okay.
So myself, Sergeant Brittany Hubbard, Sergeant Nicholas Newman, Officer Brandon Doss, Officer Heather Boyce, Officer Megan Gibbons, now detective, Officer Timothy Burlingame, Officer Cardavius Davis, Officer Jorge Castillo, Officer Jesus Salazar, Officer Kristen Ashford, also a detective, Officer Martinez Richmond, and Officer Richard Malone.
Thank you. Come over and get a picture. Come on, man. Hold it up so you can see it. Hold it up so you can see it.
And 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see, I think I have, let's see, probably, okay. So that's it. That's gonna do it. I want to thank everyone who has always given to this special event. We're taking them up. This special event and made it possible for us to celebrate. A couple in there are those who gave donations, big donations, and we thank them for that. Kanafa, he probably couldn't get in. There are some that could not get in downstairs because we are filled to capacity, but that's fine. They'll still get their awards. All right, thank you. I'm going to let you take it. Thank you.
Thank you, members. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a bittersweet evening because this marks the last final regular session for a member of the City Council. It's bittersweet because we're losing her on the council, but we are also gaining her as part of Congressman Matt Van Epps' staff. So I'm going to invite Councilman Deanna McLaughlin to please come to the well. And we're going to present her a proclamation in honor of now 15 years in a few days on this city council. She termed out and then she came back. So she didn't get enough the first go around.
Wanted to work with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Good answer. All right, good answer. We're going to invite her husband, Officer Dave McLaughlin, to please come forward as well.
He hates this stuff.
I know he hates it, but he can endure it for about 10 minutes, and then we'll release you. This is a proclamation in honor of Deanna McLaughlin, Councilman Ward 2. She has been a tremendous advocate for the citizens of Clarksville, serving 3 terms from January 1st, 2007 to December 31, 2018, and a 4th term which began January 1st, 2022, set to conclude January 10th, 2026, with plans to serve as Deputy District Director for Congressman Matt Van Epps, representing Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin's commitment to this city and its residents is evidenced by achievements in zoning and future development, with the implementation of the Fort Campbell Boulevard and Tiny Town Road overlays to achieve greater aesthetic standards and guide commercial growth while defending single-family neighborhoods. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin prioritized community engagement and transparency, holding monthly town hall meetings without fail, sending monthly newsletters, and using social media to ensure direct communication with residents of Ward 2. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin chaired the Restoring Clarksville Initiative, a multi-departmental effort to revitalize neighborhoods and improve the quality of life by addressing neglected properties. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin worked with Parks and Recreation on the successful expansion of Ewing C. Burchett Park, and whereas, this is getting heavy.
It's a lot of whereases.
A lot of whereases. All right, and whereas Councilman McLaughlin championed the successful enhancement of a crosswalk on Cunningham Lane at New Providence Middle School to improve pedestrian safety, and whereas Councilman McLaughlin participated in key community events, including National Night Out, Mayor's Summer Night Lights, Fright on Franklin, the Polar Bear Plunge, which is coming up, by the way.
I'll be on the council then.
Okay, you're still eligible. And the Clarksville Lighted Christmas Parade and wreaths across America. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin was the first active duty military spouse elected to City Council, and she is the Tennessee Commissioner and State Council Chairman of the Military Interstate Children's Compact, among many other current and former military and veteran organization affiliations. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin and her husband David are the proud parents of Caitlin, whereby they are instilling the value of community service in the next generation. And whereas Councilman McLaughlin will be famously remembered for her birthday cupcakes each month, commemorating a council member's special day or treats that highlighted an official or unofficial holiday or an event. Now, therefore, I, Joe Pitts, Mayor of the City of Clarksville, do hereby encourage all citizens to join me in honoring Councilman Deanna McLaughlin for her extraordinary contributions to the City of Clarksville and its citizens. It's signed, sealed, framed, and delivered to you, Councilman McLaughlin.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
I'll save my comments for the end of the meeting, if that's okay. Okay. Some of these people don't want to hear them.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, we'll get a picture.
And 1, 2, 3.
I told him to come in, get this award. He can go. Where is he? Come on up, Mr. Casey. This is one who has been given to the August 8th celebration since we began. He's been given. Let's give him a hand. I want to present this award to you. It's the 8th of August Emancipation Day celebration. Chains are broken because of your generous donations, charitable donations that you have always given us. Thank you for your continued donations to the Emancipation Day celebration. I signed it. And Mayor Pitts. Thank you. Hold it so we can get a picture. Hold on. Thank you. God bless you. I don't know how long we're going to let you stay in here, but we might have to go back out.
One more. Okay. Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, next item on our agenda is the Planning Commission report. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Madam Clerk, would you please read the ordinances and resolution before us tonight?
Ordinance 40, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Jonathan Blick for a zone change on properties consisting of 3 separate parcels, the first fronting on the north frontage of Hickory Grove Boulevard and the southern frontage of Elwood Drive at the intersection of Hickory Grove Boulevard and Elwood Drive. The remaining 2 parcels are located at 400 Hickory Grove Boulevard and 400.5 Hickory Grove Boulevard from R2 Single Family Residential District to R3 Three Family Residential District. Ordinance 41, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Fonda Malone for a zone change on a parcel fronting on the east frontage of North Whitfield Road, 200 plus or minus feet north of the North Whitfield Road and Needmore Road roundabout from AG Agricultural District to R5 Residential District. Ordinance 42, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Fonda Malone for a zone change on a parcel located at the northeast quadrant of the North Whitfield Road and Needmore Road roundabout from R2 Single Family Residential District to C2 General Commercial District. Ordinance 46, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Lingenholm Builders, Gayla Stewart, and Darrell Akins for a zone change on a property consisting of 4 tracts of land located at the northern terminus of Bell Road from AG Agricultural District and R2 Single Family Residential District to R3 Three Family Residential District. Ordinance 49, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of QP4 for a zone change on 2 parcels fronting on an undeveloped tract of land located at the western terminus of Quarry Overlook Way from R5 Residential District to R2A Single Family Residential District. Ordinance 50, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Crest Properties for a zone change on 12 Concord Drive from R1 Single Family Residential District to R2A, single-family residential district. Ordinance 51, 2025-26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of CGH properties for a zone change on 1182 Rossview Road from R1, single-family residential district, to R3, three-family residential district. And Resolution 34, 2025-26. Please note this item does not require a public hearing and was postponed at the December 4th council meeting. A resolution approving abandonment of portions of Howard Street, Lincoln Drive, and Ernest Shelton Drive.
Councilman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Madam Clerk. Mayor, I move we go into public hearing.
Motion been made and properly seconded to revert to public hearing without objection. We're now in public hearing. First item on our public hearing agenda is item A, ordinance 40, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Jonathan Blick. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 40? If you would give us your name, and you have 5 minutes.
Jonathan Blake, 1540 Sale Road. Got a packed house tonight, so lucky to speak. So I bring this before you guys. We're changing to R3 zoning. I know you guys may have received the email that I sent you guys on Tuesday, I believe, when you guys had your executive session. But, you know, we're just looking to build affordable housing, and a way to get to that is with the R3 zoning. We're building some small single-story houses was what we would like to do. We'd like to keep it under 200,000, maybe even flirt with the $180,000 price range. Currently, okay, yep. And then currently, housing on the market, it starts at about 225 for single family. And we think, you know, going to single story, keeping them 1 to 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, definitely helps us achieve that. And she's going to go ahead and pass these out to you guys. But you'll note that the first 3 photos on the first page are the examples of what we intend to build. And then on the second page is what's currently been sold in the last year on Hickory Grove Boulevard. Now, this is a boulevard, I will note that. So it's a collector road that leads to Cumberland Drive and to Cumberland Drive, so and Riverside. And you'll see that these the homes that are currently sold on the street are 125 to 215,000. On page 3, we're looking at our encroachment for lot 1, the proposed lot 1. So to be honest, we may be selling this lot to the neighbor to make that amend, or you know, we hate to disturb anything that he's already completed. So a way to do that is to get the smaller lots so we're able to sell to the neighbor. Currently, the lots that could be subdivided are about double the size of what we're asking to be changed to, so we wouldn't be able to give up any road frontage or any additional square footage, because we would need those for the lots we could currently get. And then there are 2 existing structures on this, and I just wanted to prove to you guys that we're not going to tear these down. They were built in 1950 and 1955. They're builder houses, so Mr. Mobley actually built the smaller blue house in the back, and I'm sure he was young and he waited about 5 years and built a bigger house in front of it. And so that was what he was able to do. But they're in immaculate condition. My aunt is actually living currently in the blue house. She's 70 years old. It's 1 level. And that's what we're trying to build to adhere to those people. And then, of course, affordability-wise. And then just so your information and tracking, I've also copy and pasted that email that I sent you guys on Tuesday. And I know it's a quick turnaround, so just having you that to reference. And then on the last page is the proposed lots. Like I said, at this time, we're not looking to build in front of the houses, just because it may put a damper on selling those as well. And our intent is to build in the available freed lot. There is a small triangle lot that is across the street from this, and we're looking to do single family over there as well. Currently, if y'all know the Pythagorean theorem, like I don't, you may be better, but right now we're dealing with 40-foot setbacks, and with R3 we would be 20-foot setbacks off the street. So it would just give us a little bit better building pad, and we could accomplish that with a BZA. But since we're asking for R3 on this, and we're already touching 5 properties that are R3 already, we assume that this is acceptable. And I know I just poured a lot of information in front of you guys. That's why I was trying to bring it as 2 different R3 rezoning requests, but the Planning Commission decided it might be better to bring all at one time. But there's a lot of moving parts in this, so I'm free to answer any questions that you might have.
We do have questions. Councilman Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Blake, thank you for these examples. These homes look mighty small. They could be called tiny homes. So, my question is, how much you charging for these homes?
Well, they're 600 to 800 square feet. That's a living space, a kitchen, a dining area, and then the bedrooms and baths can be moved around. So they're either 1 to 2 bedrooms or 1 or to 2 baths. So we're looking to price those at 180 to 200,000. Yep.
Such a small home for that big amount of money. These look like tiny homes. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
You're trying to help the needy, but that's a,
Well, it's never been done before, I'll tell you that. So we're not sure exactly how much it's going to cost us, and without me knowing that,
does
right
this
now
type
we're-
of home fit the character of the homes over there now?
yes, ma'am. Like I said, the little blue house that's currently at the rear of the property is similar in like kind. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and it's actually smaller than what we've proposed.
Yeah, that's one house, but I see a house here that's pretty big that you, on this picture. They look mighty,
it.
mighty small. These homes are bigger here on Hickory Grove.
And they're older, and then also they're I couldn't say, so.
Wow. I'm a bit disappointed in the size of these homes, 600 to 800 square feet for almost $200,000.
Well, we can build bigger if you'd like, but they're gonna be more expensive, that's the only
Well,
thing.
Well,
Because
I-
currently, we're selling around 1,200 square foot homes, we're selling those for $275.
And-
I mean, the land is the most expensive part of anything.
I understand, but
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not happy with the look of these homes. I'm just gonna say
Well,
that.
we will be putting brick fronts on that if it does help to match the stone and the brick that's already in the
600
area.
square foot. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
No problem.
Councilman Shekinah, you're recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Blick,
Yes, sir.
looking at your diagram and looking at what came from the Regional Planning Commission last month, the Regional Planning Commission said you can put 14 units on this, right?
I would suppose that is with tearing all the existing units down.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, so I see on your sketch here, you have a lot of space where you have this one house sitting at. So you don't have plans to tear this down in the future? Because we're voting on all of this,
correct.
all right? So even if we
Yep.
vote on this 6 tonight, well, once we vote on it, we have voted on it, so you can always go and add the other 6. So now you still could have more than 6 homes on there, correct? I just want to know.
I would tell you that house is worth around $385,000, and any kind of building in front of it would severely diminish that price. So, you know, and then also the reason we're rezoning the R3, as you'll see, the back house, it currently doesn't have any road frontage. It's landlocked. And there's a gap there. I'm not sure if there was something that was recorded wrong, but there's a fight there. So with the R3 zoning, we're trying to get that minimal space that we need to get to that, for that back house, which I'll be selling to my aunt. And she's currently lived there for 2 months now, so.
And the six homes that you're looking at building, they're going to have their own individual driveways, correct?
Correct.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any more questions for Mr. Blick? Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak in favor of ordinance 40? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 40? Next item is item B, ordinance 41, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Fonda Malone. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 41? Mr. Garrett, if you would, give us your name, and you have 5 minutes.
All right, Richard Garrett, 1488 Collinsview Way. I just want to give you a little information about this rezoning as well as the subsequent one after it. This one's R5, the next one is going to be C2. At this time, after speaking with Councilman Brown, we've decided that we're not going to really move forward with the C2 on the next zoning. We're focused pretty much just on building 14 townhouses on the R5. And I'm open if you have any other questions about the project. I think in the application it stated affordable housing. You know, I've been up here plenty of times, and y'all know my track record as far as, you know, just being available to the community to provide affordable housing.
Questions for Mr. Garrett? Councilman Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Garrett,
Yes, ma'am.
you have a good track record with me, but I remember visiting a couple of your apartments over there in front of the school. You allowed me to go in, you showed me around. And what concerned me was that there was no dining area for the children to eat. And you said they could just take their food in their rooms. Or, I mean, the plan that you had set out, it does not accommodate children. I mean, you had rooms in there, but there was no dining area. And I was kind of shocked. And I know you said you're building these for a low income and everything, but I think that if these homes that you're going to build over here going to be like that, I can't vote for them unless they have a dining area in there, somewhere for the children to eat. I mean, you know, you don't just put them in there and say, hey, find somewhere to eat. No, you got to have a dining area, something, a bar or something for them to sit at, not to take it in the room.
Yes, ma'am. Just to follow up, so in that 4-bedroom unit that we went to, and even with the 3-bedroom, all we did was we removed the formal dining room to accommodate more bedrooms, because that's one of the problems is in affordable housing, you can't make the unit bigger without charging more. And so we keep the square footage the same, but we're removing the dining room, formal dining rooms. There's still an eat-in kitchen that has the bar. So in that 4-bedroom, when you come in, you've got the L-shaped bar there. And it's the same way within the 3-bedroom. So we just got rid of the formal dining room to be able to put another bedroom in there to keep it affordable. Because otherwise, we'd have to make it, you know, 22 to 24 foot wide. And, you know, that's part of the issue. We get calls all the time from, you know, residents on rental assistance that are saying, hey, you got any 3 bedrooms, you got any 4 bedrooms, and their vouchers only allow them to be within a certain range. And so the only way, like I said, to do it is to eliminate the formal dining room, but we still leave them with a bar area in that eat-in kitchen to, you know, put the bar stools up against.
I hear what you're saying, but I didn't see a bar in there when I went in. As I said, I just think that, you know, if you're gonna accommodate the low income or those who are on fixed incomes, they need a dining room to eat. It don't have to be real big, but they need somewhere to eat, not in their bedrooms, as you stated to me. I just don't think that's kosher. I don't think
Understood.
it's good. I just think, you know, even though we're just not gonna stack them in like pigs. Hey, you want 4 bedrooms? Well, you're gonna get 4 bedrooms, but you ain't gonna have no dining room. It doesn't suffice with me.
No worries. And if you'd like, I can send you the link to the units that you walk through with video tours to all the council. There's an eat-in kitchen that has the bar. I have no problem with sending y'all the link to my website that has
Okay.
all the pictures and videos. But yeah, we have bar areas for the
Okay.
children or whoever.
How many can sit at the bar?
It just ranges 3 to 4.
3 to 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
Mayor, so you said that you're going to not move forward with ordinance 42. Is your desire to have Mr. Brown motion to defer when we get to that? The commercial, the C2 piece?
You said motion to defer, or,
You had, when you were talking about the case we're on now, you had mentioned that you weren't going to proceed with the commercial rezoning on the
Correct.
corner. So have you spoken with somebody who will motion?
I have.
Okay, thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Councilman Shekinah, you're recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Garrett, I just want to ask you about the parking situation, since this is right off of Needmore in North Whitfield. And I see you're talking about 14 units, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many parking per unit you looking at?
There's a
One,
minimum
1.5?
requirement of 2 per unit,
So you're gonna have
and then
two
there'll
per-
be some additional, like handicap and guest parking.
Okay.
And with that particular C2 lot, that, we're just going to use that as green space. So we're totally fine with that one being voted down. So, like I said, I've already spoken with the councilman for that ward, and that's our intention.
Councilman Shekinah, any other questions?
No,
Okay.
Mayor. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Garrett? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak in favor of ordinance 41? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 41? Next item is ordinance 42, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Fonda Malone. Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of ordinance 42? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 42? Next item is item 46, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Ligon Home Builders, Gayla Stewart, Darrell Akins. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 46? If you would, give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
Calvin Ligon, 951 Crabapple Court. Just looking to do a continuation of the R3. We're single-family houses next door we're currently developing. I purchased the easement from the Bell family, so Bell Road will be widened all the way to the city specs. It's one of the requirements to get our final plat for the part we're actually developing now. So anybody got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Questions for Mr. Ligon? Councilman Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Lignan, did you get to check with the city about right-of-way on Needmore, if there was enough city-owned right-of-way to put in a turn lane there?
Yes, sir, we did check on it.
Did they get back with you if there was enough room to put in a turn lane?
We have to have a survey done, and it's the next step after tonight. If tonight's successful, then I'm gonna pay my engineer to do the survey to confirm the city has enough right-of-way, and if so, we're committed to installing that left turn lane off Needmore like we promised.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions for Mr. Ligon? Thank you, sir.
Thank
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak in favor of ordinance 46? Mr. Ross, give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council Members. Stanley Ross, 308 South Second Street. Just here representing Mr. Ligon. He's working out on Bell Road, like he mentioned. He's already acquired the right-of-way to widen and improve Bell Road up to city code standard, or up to city street department standards. And he's asking to go to R3 just to make sure that he can make, and we've heard this word a few times tonight, make sure that his houses there are affordable. We've got a piece of property that's got a TVA easement running through it, so in order to make this so the people can actually come in and buy lots there, we need a smaller lot size. We're not asking to do R3 so that we can do any kind of multifamily or anything. He's already got a preliminary site plan approved for single-family detached R3 dwellings right next to it, and that's the plan if this goes through. So we're trying to deal with that TVA easement. We've got the road widening done as part of his plan. His common space, he's going to try and get a little park for the kids in the neighborhood, that kind of thing. And we've already had some traffic assessment, traffic study work done, and I believe that showed that there's not going to be any change in the level of service. I'll be happy to answer any questions that y'all might have.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. My concern is, I heard Mr. Ligon make the statement a while ago that, the turning lane, and it's got to have a study done, and that's the next step after this. that's kind of putting the cart in front of the horse. You're asking us to approve this, and then maybe or maybe not, this traffic study will come back, the study will come back and say that, okay, there is or there isn't enough right of way for a turning lane. What's the holdup on finding out about that?
I don't know necessarily that and my understanding is the traffic study doesn't, even as is, I don't know that it affects the level of service for any of those roads. The issue that has come up is there were some questions about whether a turn lane can be put in. We'd already submitted this. And now there's got to be a survey done to determine that. So that's why I think the turn lane question may have come up after the zoning application was already submitted. So that's why we're checking on that. I don't know when the survey will be completed, and I don't know if Mr. Ligon would want to go to the expense of having all that work done if he knows it's not going to be something that can pass. So that may answer some of those questions.
Okay, that's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any more questions for Mr. Ross? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, council members.
Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak against ordinance 46? Next item is item E, ordinance 49, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of QP4. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 49? Mr. Powers, give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you. Bryce Powers, 46 Union Street. When we master planned this property back in 2020, when we bought it, we'd identified this phase as a good candidate for townhomes. We had zoned it R5. As the market has changed and now that we're evaluating the only access to this parcel is through 2 phases of single family, we've decided to apply for this R2A to go back to single family, be very in kind with the phases that are already there. Just feel like it's a better approach at this point. The townhomes, we had a site plan of roughly 98 units. This will be 35 single family houses. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions for Mr. Powers? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 49? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 49? Next item is item F, ordinance 50, 2025-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Crest Properties. Anyone in the audience that wishes to speak? Mr. Black, I see you beat me to the punch. You're recognized. You have 5 minutes.
Trying to
Give
help
us your
you
name,
speed it
please.
up a little bit. Good evening, Christian Black. I'm one of the owners of this property. Just wanted to come answer any questions you guys had. We rezoned this piece back in September, I believe. It was originally zoned for apartments. They were going to put, I think, 160 apartments here. We downzoned it to single family, the R2A there, that's to the south. And we also purchased the house from a different seller to the north. So the city street we're going to put in off Concord will come into the R2A. This portion was intended to be part of that development, but it was owned by the other seller, so we couldn't rezone it at that time. And so that's why we're here today.
Questions for Mr. Black? Thank you, sir. Anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 50? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 50? Next item is item G, ordinance 51, 25-26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of CGH Properties. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor of ordinance 51? Mr. Smith, give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
Houston Smith, 113 Boston Drive. After the executive session, we understood there's some opposition, and we just asked to be sent back to planning, let us reevaluate this, and maybe we can come up with something that's a little bit more acceptable. So if you have any questions, I can try.
Councilman Streetman, you can make note of that. So when you get there, okay. Any questions for Mr. Smith? Seeing none, anyone else in the audience wish to speak in favor of ordinance 51? Anyone in the audience wish to speak against ordinance 51? That's okay. Give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
Chris Gwynn, I'm 1190 Rossview, right next to it, and like I said, they just I don't know why we need a triplex there. Why can't we just put a residential home on that? Because they talk about affordable homes and stuff like that. And I know the mini homes are expensive, and apartment life is just as expensive because of the taxes on that thing. Because I used to own some apartments. The taxes are ridiculous, so you got to keep your rate, your mortgage, what you call your rents up. So it's not affordable. The most affordable housing you got is like little houses, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. I've built them. I've built apartments. I've built small homes. But far as square footage wise, you're right. Small homes shouldn't be that expensive. And why would you want a triplex right next to your school? Why would you want that with your kids? I used to own apartments, and it was all, nobody wants to clean the place. Nobody wants to pick that up because that's not mine. I don't know who put that there. You can't make them clean that place up. So if you own a residential home, you're going to clean that up, and you don't want riffraff walking through there to apartments where all your kids are going to go right past that thing. So, I mean, I just ask you, like, do not let them put a triplex. Residential home would be fine right there, and it would be affordable. So that's all I got to say.
Questions for Mr. Wynn that you may want to get with Mr. Smith and figure out what he's got planned.
Okay.
Because I think he wants us to send it back to the Regional Planning Commission for consideration.
He might put a residential home on it. Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Make it
sir.
with him. Appreciate it.
Anyone else in the audience that wishes to speak against Ordinance 51? All right, Big Sarge, give us your name and you have 5 minutes.
AC Big Sarge Lopez. I live 58 Joshua Drive. The only thing is that, man, I take Rossview to go to the Nashville VA all the time, and it's always packed. So, we discussed this last night with our city council person, Deanna McLaughlin, in her, should I say, in her 160th town hall meeting. And so, she gave us the information that we needed to make our own decision. And, bro, for reals, there's no R3 in the area. It's all R1. I know he wants to send it back, but why is he presenting it if he's not going? It's not conclusive to the area. And shall I remind everybody, Rossview Elementary, 120% at capacity. We got portables out there. It's full. It's as we look, the average family is 2 parents, 2.5 kids. You put that triplex in, I know the paper says 8, but realistically it's going to be 12 to 15. And so most of those are going to be elementary children. So, once again, I know he just came up and dropped a bomb, and everybody said he's considering redoing it. But when I know someone's got to be first, and I am a capitalist. Hey, it's your land, you're trying to make money. I get it. But there ain't no R3 in an R1 zone. Why are you presenting it? I mean, someone's got to be first, right? I guess someone's got to be first. But we got to think about this. And then when we talk about smart growth, this is what we're talking about. Why we're adding more people to an elementary school that's 120% full. Don't make no sense to me. I agree with the previous speaker. A one home, residential home is probably the best for this situation if we're trying to make find a solution to this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Lopez? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. That completes our public hearing. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we go back into regular session.
There's no public hearing for that. The motion been made and properly seconded to revert to regular session. Without objection, we're now in regular session. Councilman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. As a reminder, based on the recommendation from our legal counsel, all motions are made in the form of approval. Ordinance 40, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville. Application of Jonathan Blick for a zone change on properties consisting of 3 separate parcels. The first fronting on the north frontage of Hickory Grove Boulevard and the southern frontage of Elwood Drive at the intersection of Hickory Grove Boulevard and Elwood Drive. The remaining 2 parcels are located at 400 Hickory Grove Boulevard and 400.5 Hickory Grove Boulevard, from R2 Single Family Residential District to R3 Three-Family Residential District. The Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommend approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 40. Any comment or question regarding ordinance 40? Councilman Smith, you're recognized.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. As I said, I cannot vote for something for 600 square feet to 800 square feet to charge someone $200,000. That's just highway robbery to me. It's too small. It looks like a tiny house. And the houses around that area are a lot bigger. And as I looked at the pictures, I see that. So I will be voting no on this. Thank you.
Councilman Holloman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. So I will be voting no as well. And my reasoning is, like, if we vote for this R3 on Hickory Grove Boulevard, we're just going to set up just the trail of R3 rezone requests that we've seen in the past, same pattern. And that's what I think is going to happen, because there's no R3 on Hickory Grove Boulevard. There's R3 on Cumberland Drive, but none on Hickory Grove Boulevard. It doesn't fit, and it's going to set a precedent. Thank you.
Any more comment or question regarding ordinance 40? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
4 yes, 9 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 40 fails. Councilman Streetman.
Ordinance 41, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville. Application for Fonda Malone for a zone change on a parcel fronting on the east frontage of North Whitfield Road, 200 plus or minus feet north of the North Whitfield Road and Needmore Road roundabout, from AG Agricultural District to R5 Residential District. Both the Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommend approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 41. Any comment or question regarding ordinance 41? Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be voting no on this. I think it's just too much traffic to add right there beside the school. The city has spent a huge sum of money at the roundabout trying to alleviate the traffic problems, and to me, this is just going to add even more headaches, so I'll be voting no. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Thinking about this, what I said, I just have, I want to, I don't know if Mr. Garrett is going to put a dining room in there or somewhere for these children to eat. I know you're trying to accommodate the low income and maybe the fixed income. If you decide that you want to put some eating room in there for these children, I could vote for this, but lacking that, I can't do that, because I didn't raise my children to eat in the bedroom, bring roaches and stuff in. I just can't. But you might want to rethink this ordinance, because I'll be voting no against this as well. Thank you.
Councilman Holloman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to be voting against it as well. If you had everything the same, with the rezones not near the roundabout, I would probably be in favor of this. But because it's so close to that roundabout, I mean, people are still trying to figure out how it works. You know, it's going to be a hazard, and it's not going to be a smart move to change it. Thank you.
Councilman Marquis, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say that I've seen pictures of the inside of these units, and it's an open floor concept where you have your living room and a space where you could put a dining table and the kitchen. So I'm kind of confused as to why we need a separate dining area. It's an open concept plan that's very popular all across America. Thank you.
Any more comment or question regarding ordinance 41? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
4 yes, 8 no, 1 abstain.
Ordinance 41 fails. Councilman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I read this one, I know that the agent asked that we vote this one down, and I do have to make this, as I stated, in the form of a motion for approval. We will need a second on it so that we can at least have it considered. Ordinance 42, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Fonda Malone for a zone change on a parcel located at the northeast quadrant of North Whitfield Road and Needmore Road roundabout from R2 single-family residential district to C2 general commercial district. Both the Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommended approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 42. Councilman Brown, you recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. As Mr. Garrett spoke, he just asked that we just go ahead and vote this one down. He didn't ask for it to be sent back or anything. Of course, with the previous one failing also, they was just gonna plan to use this as green space, because after we had spoke and discussed putting a commercial business in that roundabout, that would not work. So he's just asked that we go ahead and vote it down, and we don't have to send it back and wait for it to come back again. It'll be gone for a year.
All right, you heard it here first. All right, any other comment or question regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, hearing none, all members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
0 yes, 13 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 42 fails. Councilman Streetman.
Ordinance 46, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Ligon Home Builders, Gayla Stewart, Darrell Atkins, for a zone change on a property consisting of 4 tracts of land located at the northern terminus of Bell Road from AG Agricultural District, R2 Single Family Residential District, to R3 Three Family Residential District. The Regional Planning Commission staff recommended disapproval. The Regional Planning Commission recommended approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 46. Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm torn on this one. And the reason why is that we're not that far from what we just turned down. And, we still got the unanswered question of how to eliminate some of this traffic problem. A turning lane very well might help, but at this point, we don't know whether or not a turning lane will be required, whether anybody will put one in or not. So I'm torn between this one, and I guess when you call for the vote, I'll make my mind up. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, well, you got a minute or two. Councilman Markey, you're recognized, and stretch it out so he has time to think.
All right, well, I just want to say that when the first property that they are currently developing came up, it barely passed because there was a question about the road and whether they were going to, one, build a new road and expand Bell Road. And a few months ago, I had actually reached back out and got in touch with the engineer because I was looking at the process in which the city builds roads and the standards of building roads, and I knew that he was one of the ones who was currently actively doing it. And they showed me the engineering plans that showed that he is doing what the street department asked, because I do remember he came before the council and said if they want him to build the road, he'll build the road, and it's whatever the street department demanded of them at the time. And they did, and that's what he has done through the engineering plans. Even if this fails, he still has those plans in which he is widening Bell Road indeed. That is on the books, and he's doing that currently. So I do believe that if this passes, and he will do the survey, and if the survey finds out that having enough right away, that I do believe he will also do that. So I'll vote for this.
Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. The concern for me is that we're looking at a population of 202 people on this proposed zone change when his previous parcels have not been developed yet. And if you look at the map, this is right on the curve of Needmore Road, solid yellow line, no passing, very narrow there. And again, it kind of goes back to what my colleague from Ward 4 said about the investment that we've made on trying to flow traffic better on Whitfield and Needmore, and this just would add to the problem I'd be curious to see what happens after his other parcels are developed to see how the impact is, although I won't be here. That concludes my report.
Councilman Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, you will be around, may not be on the council. You're not going nowhere. We're not gonna let you leave. But, I've been out there and I understand he's purchased the right of way for the Bell Road to widen it to the city standards, the city requirements. And, going with R3 is gonna be able to, has to fund that road somehow. And, going to a little bit smaller lots, that cost can be spread out over a few more houses that doesn't impact the cost of the house as much. I did ask, Mr. Smith from the street department to check on that, right away also. So I'll be supporting this, but I'll be following up this month, before the second reading to see if anything changes there, because that could change my mind on it.
Thank you. Councilman Lovato, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question for you or Mr. Bittner. In regards to this left turn lane, I feel like we're skirting on conditional zoning. If we approve this, on the basis that they put in a left turn lane or they do a study for the left turn lane, is this not conditional zoning? It feels like it is.
Getting awful close.
Mr. Bittner is like kind of nodding his head.
I'm channeling my inner Mr. Bittner. Does that answer your question, or do you need legal counsel?
I would like legal counsel on that,
Okay.
actually.
I didn't go to law school, so Mr. Bittner, you're recognized. The real Mr. Bittner, please stand up.
That's right. As a council, we need to be careful that we're not saying we're going to vote for approval of this zoning ordinance if he will put in the Bell Road, or if he'll put in the turn lane. If he's done everything that the street department has asked, which I understand that's what he's done, then we just voted as that, not on a condition that he, in the future, have a survey done or that he put in a turn lane.
Councilman Lovato, you have the floor.
That answers my question.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner, for confirming. Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. After listening to Mr. Ligon, the one that is in favor of his land being developed, I think he has done everything he has been asked to do. And when I looked at this paper, I noticed that his ordinance was the only one disapproved. All the rest of them was approved, even though we voted down a couple. But I think that we're giving them a little hard time. I think we need to go ahead and vote for this. That land has been sitting over there empty for a long time. The weeds get tall. It looks terrible. And we need to do something with that big lot. He said he's going to widen Bell Road. He's doing everything we asked him to do. And his other parcels not being developed has nothing to do with him trying to develop on this land. So I think we need to go ahead and vote in favor of this. It's your choice, but I'm going to vote in favor of this because I see he's been before us a few times on this particular, not this particular ordinance, but about this land. And we need to give the man a chance. Thank you.
Any other comment or question regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
7 yes, 6 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 46 passes first reading. Councilman Streetman.
Ordinance 49, 20, 25, 26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of QP4 for a zone change on 2 parcels fronting on an undeveloped tract of land located at the western terminus of Quarry Overlook Way from R5 Residential District to R2A Single Family Residential District. The Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommend approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 49. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. This is located in Ward 10, so I do want to speak on this one. I did receive one email that was in opposition, but one thing that I did explain back to them was this is actually a substantial downgrade from what it currently is. And I know that people in the area had previously wished this had been single-family home versus the R5. So with this being much more in line with what's already there, I'm going to be voting in favor of this because, again, it's reducing it drastically from what it could potentially be at this time with it being R5. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comment or question regarding this ordinance? Seeing none. Councilman Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. We're on 49, is that correct?
We are 49.
I didn't see any oppositions against Mr. Bryce Powell's request here. I will be voting in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comment or question regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
12 yes, 1 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 49 passes first reading. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Ordinance 50, 2025, 26, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of Crest Properties for a zone change on 12 Concord Drive from R1 Single Family Residential District to R2A Single Family Residential District. Both the Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommended approval, and I so move.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 50. Any comment or question regarding ordinance 50? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 50 passes first reading. Councilman Streetman.
Ordinance 51, 2025, 26, first reading, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of CGH Properties for a zone change on 1182 Rossview Road from R1 Single Family Residential District to R3 Three Family Residential District. The Regional Planning Commission and the staff recommend approval, and I so move.
Motion
And-
been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 51.
And-
Councilman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. And also, I want to thank the applicant for listening to what we had to say during the executive meeting 2 nights ago and the opposition to the R3. So per their request, I make a motion that this gets sent back to the Regional Planning Commission to be looked at as a different zoning classification.
Motion been made and properly seconded to re-refer ordinance 51 to the Regional Planning Commission. Councilman Shekinah, you wish to address the motion to re-refer?
Yes.
You're recognized.
I'd just like to support that motion and thank the guys that showed up to also support that tonight. Thank you all.
Councilman Holloman, the motion to re-refer.
Yes. I don't think we should re-refer it. I think we should go ahead and just vote it down. I'm for it being R1 because I mean, like, really, like, if we're against it being R3, then it's going to come back as like R2 or R2A. So like that's the most likely outcome. So like I'm going to be against that as well because it needs to be R1. So I'm going to vote the re-referral down. Thank you.
All right, any more comment or question regarding the motion to re-refer to the Planning Commission? Seeing none, hearing none, we're voting on the motion to refer ordinance 51 back to the Regional Planning Commission. Every member, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
12 yes, 1 no, 0 abstain.
The motion to refer passes. Councilman Streetman.
Resolution 34, 2025, 26, a resolution approving abandonment of portions of Howard Street, Lincoln Drive, and Ernest Shelton Drive, the Lincoln Homes redevelopment. I make a motion for approval.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of Resolution 34. Councilman Marquis has an amendment to this resolution. Okay, Councilman Smith, before we get to the amendment.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Realizing that there are many business owners and constituents against Resolution 34, 2025-26, I'm going to ask that we postpone this to give the citizens and those who are in opposition of this a chance to have another meeting with the leaders who have put forth an effort to set up a homeless shelter on Union Street.
This is on the abandonment of the streets.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
That's okay.
I'm just trying to help my people.
I know.
Lord have mercy.
All
Well,
right.
anyway, I got something to say on this one. Hold on. And I got something to say on this one.
We got
too.
an amendment coming up. Can we?
Well, Well, I like to say what I got to say
All right,
first,
well, you
ma'am,
got the
first.
floor. Go ahead.
Okay. Looking at this resolution, we know that we postponed it until today. And I think we need to go ahead and vote in favor of this. We know that we're trying to keep that $35 million so that we can renew the Lincoln Homes projects that is dilapidated. It's not good for anybody to live in those places. Any of the projects here in Clarksville, they're very dilapidated. And so I hope that we would vote in favor to allow us to give them the abandonments. As I said, we have given abandonments to many people for various reasons, and we didn't have a problem with it. So I think we need to vote in favor of this to allow the Housing Authority to go forward to receive that $35 million to rehab the projects in Lincoln Homes. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Markey, now you're recognized on your amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, so I had passed out an amendment earlier tonight that I've been working on trying to find a compromise to the situation that we find ourselves in. One that will potentially help move the project forward, but protect the city's liability or the city's assets in the future as well, which being the road. So before you have an amendment, and I guess I'd like to make a motion to introduce my amendment.
Motion been made and properly seconded
Okay.
in favor of this amendment. You have the floor.
Okay. So I've been in contact with the contractor and even HUD, trying to figure out what the timeline is for all of this construction that we're potentially going to be seeing here soon. As an email went out to all of you with a timeline of the financing of closing and then when they intend on beginning the construction and when they plan on finishing construction. It is understood that for them to close their financing date in June 3rd, they have to have a road abandonment so that they can submit their construction permit and site plans in order for them to close. So it gives us time for them to pretty much get that stuff done and for us to keep the road in our possession. So in my amendment, the abandonment begins May 1st, which gives them the 30 days to do the site plan and with RPC and then their permitting with buildings and codes to give them their closing date. It then also allows for an extra 10 days just in the event that the closing date moves one way or the other. I remember when I bought my house, we had a closing date and there was some paperwork that the lender didn't do, so we ended up closing a week after. So I just wanted to give that buffer there, but it's still prior to when they believe they're going to commence construction. So they have to submit notice to the city on the notice to proceed to provide proof that they did close on their financial contracts prior to June 15th, and the date I put is June 13th. If they do not provide this information to us, this notice, then it vacates this resolution. It becomes null and void. The road comes back to the city. They will never have touched the road. So there is no, well, the city now has to go back and fix whatever they did or to it that's happened. So that is where I'm at with the timeline of this resolution. So we retained the road till May 1st. May 1st is the abandonment. They put their site plan, their permits. They closed June 3rd. So they have from June 3rd to June 13th to give the city the proper notification. If they do not, then the abandonment is null and void, ultimately. And I would also like to remind the council that the Housing Authority, I know they have their issues. I am told they have a date set for the final 3 applicants on January 17th, where hopefully by the end of the month, we will have a new director. And again, with this resolution, if we have a director by February, we have till May to hammer out whatever we need to do also with them. That's how I see it, in attempts to, again, get these families, their homes rebuilt, and then us to not have to deal with situation of private roads, because I know it's a headache. I have one in my ward. So I'll be open to questions on that, if anything.
Great questions on the amendment. Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
I want to thank our colleague from Ward 5 for trying to come up with a compromise. One concern I have is that executing the construction contract doesn't mean they have to begin construction. So is there a deadline on when they start actually working to meet their deadline of 2027?
I'm told they cannot start until those contracts are finalized.
Right, but there's nothing in there that says they actually have to begin construction and have a deadline on when that needs to be completed.
The commencement of the construction is June 15th, and they have to be finished by November 15th of 2027. If not, those tax credits, they lose those tax credits if it's not done by that deadline.
I guess I'd feel better if that was part of the amendment, so it's what we agree to as a voting body. I'll just mention that. And then also, I understand that they are interviewing applicants for the director's position, but I guess this might be a question for the mayor. That doesn't remove her from being the consultant on this project, does it?
No, it doesn't, because her contract is not with the Housing Authority, it's with the Development Authority that the Housing Authority Board, not the current one, but a previous board created.
So she might lose one of her overpriced paychecks, but keep the other one.
Amen.
Thank you.
Councilman Shekinib, you're recognized on the amendment.
Yes, Mayor, I have a question for the sponsor of the amendment. Reference the 13 June date. You said if they don't have things in place by the 13th of June, but we meet at a session on the 4th of June. So can we push that date prior to the session? Because if they don't, then when will we meet again? Will it be automatic? Because we won't meet again until the end of June.
Let me look at the calendar.
Yeah, we have an executive session on the 4th, right, of June? A public session,
June
rather.
3rd, so the regular session for June falls on, I'm sorry, let me look. The regular session in June is June 4th?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
your
just
date-
one day after
yeah, So your
the,
date is the 13th of June, that this
Yes,
drop dead date.
yes, so for that, I moved,
So can we move the drop dead date before the
June 15th.
June 4th session, or will it make a difference?
Well, I'm not sure if they would have had enough time to give it from one day to the next. I guess that's what I was just trying to make sure that there was time for them to sign their contracts and then come to the city. I guess if the next day, that's, I don't know, 24 hours, I guess.
Okay. So then part 2 of that would be, Mayor, for the attorney, reference the dates, Mr. Bittner. So if we put in here these dates, and these dates are locked in, if something doesn't happen by the 13th of June, does it automatically void this entire thing?
Mr. Bittner, you're recognized.
Well, my intention with writing this in the last paragraph was that if it didn't happen on those dates, that it would automatically revert back to the city. But I would recommend that there be a resolution on the following, I guess you would be looking at July, to take it back. Just to confirm that it's being taken back, just that would make it cleaner. But the intention was, Councilman Markey asked that it be written so that we could automatically revert it back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
Just one more comment on this. It's interesting that the developer for this project was here on Tuesday, wasn't allowed to speak, didn't stay around and talk to any of us about our concerns, hasn't called us. And it's like, when there's zoning cases, the people involved contact us and try to discuss our concerns with us, and that did not happen by Gorman Company. I'm concerned about that, and I just want to publicly state, I'm for the redevelopment of Lincoln Homes. I just want to know why it didn't start 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, et cetera, when the person in place was in that position at that time. Thank you.
Councilman Smith on the amendment.
Yes. In response to what was just said, someone's wondering why it didn't start 3 and 4 years ago. Well, they didn't have no money 3 and 4 years ago. They just got the money, got approved for the tax credits to start doing something in Lincoln Homes. So it wasn't approved. They didn't have any money 3 to 4 years ago. And I have a question for you, the sponsor of this. What about the bad days, rainy days, winter, if it's bad weather, are we going to be lenient and giving them some extra days if they can't work to meet the June 13th or June 15th date?
They're not working anytime, they're not touching the street at all.
I'm reading right here. It says the Gorman Construction Company execute a construction contract for improvements on the described site. What improvements do they need to make? If they can't.
That's not gonna happen in that time frame. That's happening starting June 15th until November 15th of 2027.
When the construction was
That's when
started?
yeah.
June 15th to
Yes.
what?
November 15th, 2027.
To November. I just want to make sure, some clarification here. So if they have bad weather and they have to do that, do we have any leniency for them or something like that?
No, they're a construction company, whatever, they follow the same weather patterns any other construction happen. They have a hard deadline of November 15th that they have to
I know
do.
they got a hard
That's
deadline.
not us, that's HUD. That's not us.
But I'm talking about what you saying, that the city will take it back if they don't meet
By-
the conditions that you put forth here.
No, the condition is that they have to provide us notice that they closed on their financial contracts to prove that they are moving forward with the redevelopment. Right now, they don't have their financial contracts closed. So they may close it, they may not. It's just until they sign that paperwork, nothing is happening on that road.
Okay, so this is very vague to me, because for the simple fact, we just got this today.
Yes.
And I mean, what you're saying here is pieces of what they need to do before we take the land back if they don't apply or meet the conditions that's required. So what I'm saying, we just got this today, so I'm trying to understand what you have here.
The only condition we're putting is that they must prove to us that they closed their contracts which they have to submit site plan.
Those
they
are
have to submit
contracts with HUD.
the housing authority and the contractor, the developer who's doing this, are in a financial contract right now with their tax credits.
Okay.
And their lender. There was a 2-page notice that went out today that explained how those tax credits are used with the bank system, and that's, the banks have to approve all that with the contractor and the housing authority
Okay.
before they can move on and start the contract.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarification. Thank you,
Councilman
Mayor.
Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you,
on the
Mayor.
amendment.
Call for question.
Question's been called on the amendment. Any objection to the question on the amendment? Seeing none, we're now voting on the amendment to Resolution 34. All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
11 yes, 2 no, 0 abstain.
The amendment is adopted. We are now on resolution as amended. Any discussion on the resolution as amended? Councilman Marquis, you're recognized.
Just to add a quick note, I know that there's a lot of frustration right now with the housing authority, but I think that's a little bit misplaced to put it on the contractor. We don't, it's not their job to come before the council and tell us what the plan is. It's the housing authority. They went out and did all this. They should have spoken to us, had us involved in that conversation. I reached out to the contractor. That's to get their information. That's how that became a thing ultimately, because we weren't getting any word from those involved here in Clarksville. And I've also contacted HUD about that to figure out, again, the timeline. So that's where that came about and why maybe they have not reached out to us. It's ultimately not their position to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. I've made my position abundantly clear. This dog has fleas, so we're going to vote on the resolution as amended. Every member, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
8 yes, 5 no, 0 abstain.
Resolution as amended passes. Councilman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my report.
All right. Now ready for the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, please read the consent agenda.
All items in this portion of the agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and may be approved by one motion. However, a member of the council may request that an item be removed for separate consideration under the appropriate committee report. Ordinance 35, 2025-26, second reading, an ordinance amending the operating and capital budgets for fiscal year 2026 for governmental funds, ordinance 103, 2024-25 for a grant award. Ordinance 38, 2025-26, second reading, an ordinance amending the zoning code and map of the city of Clarksville, application of legacy nursery and landscape for a zone change on a tract of land at the northern terminus of Kennedy Lane from C4 Highway Interchange District to C5 Highway and Arterial Commercial District. Ordinance 43, 2025-26, second reading, an ordinance amending the city zoning ordinance of the city of Clarksville as it pertains to citywide electronic message center signage regulations. Resolution 37, 2025-26, a resolution approving appointments to the Act Authority, Designations Committee, Gas and Water Board, and the Regional Planning Commission, and adoption of minutes of December 4th.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'll entertain a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Motion been made and properly seconded on the consent agenda. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized on the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. I'd like to register a no on ordinance 38, 2025-26, and register an abstention on resolution 37, 2025-26.
All right. Councilman Holloman on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to pull ordinance 43, 2025-26 for reconsideration.
Okay, we'll take that up immediately following the consent agenda without objection. Councilman McLaughlin on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to register no vote on ordinance 38, 2025-26.
Thank you. Councilman Peters, you're recognized on the consent agenda.
I also would like to register a no vote on ordinance 38, 2025-26.
All right, thank you. Any other member wish to be recognized on the consent agenda? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? We're voting on the consent agenda. All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
12 yes, 0 no, 0
The
abstain.
consent agenda is adopted. We are now going to take up item C, ordinance 43, 2025-26 that was pulled from the consent agenda by Councilman Holloman. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I passed out an amendment, and I'd like to make a motion for approval for the amendment.
Let's get the motion approval for the ordinance first.
Oh, sorry. I'd like to make a motion for approval for ordinance 43, 2025-26.
Proper. I'm sorry, it's stuck over here. My apologies. You got paper flying everywhere. Okay, the motion been made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 43. Now, Councilman Holloman, on your amendment.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. So like I would like to propose an amendment, and what it does is in ordinance 43 under the section K. Let me just scroll down here. Let's see. Section K, item 1. So as it reads, the transition time between images or messages shall be limited to no more than 5 seconds. That's how it's written right now, talking about the electronic signage. All right, so if you're driving down the road and 5 companies have a sign, you're getting a flash of light every 1 second on average. And so I feel like that's pretty distracting, and that's quite a bit of lights flashing. Because I mean, if they see an advantage as a business, you're going to go with an electronic signage if the competition across the road has electronic signage and they're getting all the business. So over time, it's just going to be more and more of these electronic message boards. So 5 seconds, it's just like every 5 seconds, just something flashing at you. It's just not a good idea. So what the amendment does, I changed the wording a little bit, but I just put the transition time between images and messages shall be no less than 20 seconds. So when you're transitioning from the pictures on the digital signage boards, it cannot be any less than 20 seconds, where previously it was written shall be limited to no more than 5 seconds. I didn't really care for that wording, but shall be no less than 20 seconds. So you can't get it any less than 20 seconds. So every 20 seconds would be the cycle. And that's the gist.
We'll need a motion and a second for your amendment.
I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Motion been made and properly seconded for approval of this amendment. Just as a reminder, members, if this amendment is successful, it will immediately or automatically revert back to the Regional Planning Commission as a text amendment to the zoning code. Councilman Streetman, you're recognized on the amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be opposed to this amendment. I know that the Regional Planning Commission really worked with the businesses that came and spoke at the public hearing that they had on this. There was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of compromising that went on, and at no point did we talk about it being 20 seconds. That's quite a leap from 5 seconds, and I'm also concerned with that the transition time between images or messages shall be limited to no more than 5 seconds. Phrasing it to not only changing it from 5 seconds to 20, but saying shall be no less than 20 seconds. I think, did you get any input at all on this from Mr. Tyndall?
No, I've written contracts before, so I know the lingo. I've done ordinances before, so like I understand what's pretty clear. Like shall be no less than 20 seconds. That's pretty clear. And you know, if you're driving down the road and then there's 30 signs flashing every 5 seconds, that's a lot of flashing lights. I mean, I don't think we took into consideration into it, and I spoke about it about a month ago, and I really think it should be 20 seconds. I mean, at minimum.
Like I said, I think that's a huge amount, because we're trying to get something in place here to at least just be able to do some sort of regulating, and looking at it being changing from 5 seconds to 2 seconds. And again, I really need to think through the fact of changing the language, because it was written this way for a specific reason. And of course, you see the next one, all images or messages must remain static and unchanged for a minimum of 5 seconds before transitioning or displaying the next image or message. Like I said, there was a lot of work, many, many, many months of work and conversations that went into creating this, and I'll be against this amendment.
Councilman Brown on the amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. Maybe it's just me, but I'm looking at it as, it says the transition time between images or messages shall be no less than 20 seconds. So if you have a static display up there, it's transitioning to another display, that's going to be 20 seconds long. Maybe I'm misreading it, but that's transition in between the messages. And then it says that new message can only be up there for 5 seconds. Then you've got another 20 seconds of where the message is transitioning. To me, you're putting like 2 messages into one for 20 seconds. That's kind of jumbling up to me. That's the way I'm reading this.
I'll come to the sponsor for clarification or an answer.
Yes, if that's how it's being interpreted, then we can fix that. It's not a big deal. 5 seconds is too fast. I mean, so must remain static or unchanged for 5 seconds. Okay, then what we should do is we should just change that to 20 seconds. Is how I feel, and so I guess I could just write another. I can make an amendment to the amendment. I mean, I have that ability.
Councilman Brown, you have the floor.
Either way, to me, you still got 20 seconds in between the message that's up there, and then the next message has to stay up there another 20 seconds. I don't see a need to amend it further. I'll be voting against it either way.
Councilman Zacharias, you're recognized on the amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. I've got a question for the sponsor. Is the concern the flashing lights? That seems to be what you're focused on, the flashing lights as people are driving?
Yeah. If the sign is changing every 5 seconds, that's pretty fast. If you have 30 signs, if you're driving down the road and you see 30 signs.
All right, so I'm looking at the text after the semicolon, which I hear is dying, by the way. Inappropriate transitions such as flashing, spinning, or other distracting techniques shall be prohibited. Does that not address your concern?
It's still going to be it's still going to be. So you have an image, and then you have another image. So I guess you can do like a sliding transition, right? Would that be flashing? That's still distracting.
I wouldn't consider that flashing. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. So I guess it's a interpretation there. So like any type of
distracting.
I mean, obviously it's not going to be like flashing, but if you have a bunch of signs moving every 5 seconds, it's going to be distracting, especially if you have like 30 signs on a street.
And to be clear, I just want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Distracting techniques will be prohibited.
That's so vague, though.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.
So it's
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding this amendment? Councilman Holloman, back to you.
yeah. I've got an amendment. I can just propose a new amendment, but seems like everybody wants to vote it down. But the intention was definitely to prolong it from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. That was the objective. I probably could have interpreted that a little differently. I agree. But every 5 seconds, that is a lot, and I guess we'll wait and see. So thank you.
All right, we're now voting on the Holloman amendment to Ordinance 43. All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
2 yes, 11 no, 0 abstain.
Amendment fails. We're back on Ordinance 43 as originally proposed. Any questions or comments regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, hearing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Ordinance 43 is adopted. Second reading. We're now on the Finance Committee report. Chairman Streetman, you're recognized. I'm sorry, Councilman Shakina, for what purpose?
Yes, Mayor. Before we go into the Finance Committee, can we take a 5-minute break? This one's going to be a long one right here.
All right, without objection, we will stand in recess for 5 minutes. We will reconvene in 5 minutes. Madam Clerk, Madam Deputy Clerk, put the clock on, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the clock on the wall has said we are now reconvening our regular session of the Clarksville City Council. All right, you're free to move about the chambers. Chairman Streetman, you're recognized on the Finance Committee report.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 45, 2025, 26, first reading. An ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to conduct negotiations and to enter into an agreement for the purchase of real property for the purpose of expanding homeless support services in partnership with Clarksville Area Urban Ministries and The Well, a mission of Trenton Crossing Church of Christ. Both the Finance and Neighborhood and Community Services Committee recommended approval. I do have more to add, but first I do need to make a motion for approval and get a second.
Motion made and properly seconded in favor of ordinance 45. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I want to start with saying that there's been a lot of confusion, I think, with what is going on. We've seen emails that are coming. We heard some public comments 2 nights ago in regard to it. And first of all, I want to clarify some different information. There was emails regarding the Neighborhood and Community Services meeting and a statement that there is a vision for this to have a large homeless shelter, true shelter that would be 24/7, 365 built over there. But to be clear, it's a vision. It was something that the Director of Neighborhood and Community Services, Miss Austin, who's worked very hard for our community, talked about that she would like to see there. It doesn't mean it is going there. It cannot go there without further support from this council. It couldn't just automatically happen and be built without the funding necessary, without the council voting for it. I can assure you that's not what this is. That may never come to fruition. There is a lot that would have to be looked at. It would have to have a lot of input, a lot of working with the area to be able to do that. So I do want to clarify that to start with. I think, that conversation, I do think, has led to some confusion with that. What this is about is for it to be a day shelter and an emergency shelter, not a homeless shelter, and that people would be living there regularly. Currently, the Well operates, 2 nights a week and giving out food, and also they have clothing, they have a church service. This is going to allow Urban Ministries the opportunity where they already have a warming shelter just a block or 2 up the road, and they have their Grace Assistance, again, just a block or so up the road, to be able to consolidate there. The benefit of having this where you have a day shelter during the day and have the homeless to be able to come in there for services, to be able to meet with case managers, to be able to try and get back on their feet and from the situation they're in. That means they're not just hanging around in the park in front of the businesses. It's an opportunity for individuals that live nearby, that own businesses nearby, to be able to call Urban Ministries and say, hey, we've got someone here, and they can have a case manager to be able to come with them, try and get them over to the facility and get them triaged. It's also going to allow somebody to be there and help more police the area, because you're going to have somebody there working all the time to be able to try and help that neighborhood out as well. So should the neighbors in the area have issues, they're going to have somebody that they can reach out to. Also, I know that during the public comments, there was a story of a gentleman that was told that's been homeless for 2 years, an elderly gentleman that lost his wife. And after losing his wife on his Social Security alone, he could no longer afford their housing, and he ended up on the streets. What wasn't told was the end of the story, which was great. And if you only watched it online, you may not have heard what he had to say. But he actually stood up Friday night and said, I have an update to give everyone. This coming Sunday, I'm moving into a home. So, and he, really commended working with Urban Ministries to be able to get into that. So they are working with these individuals for these success stories. And with each success they have, it builds upon for them to have another success. I also want to talk about the image that has kind of been portrayed regarding our homeless. We are kind of putting them in a stereotype that they're all there because they want to be. It's because of their life choices. It's because they're dangerous. It's because they don't want to work. It's because they're criminals. This is not the case. Also, I have to say the negativity that we heard at the meeting and that we've seen on Facebook and we've seen going around, in no way does this help those individuals that are out there and trying to get off the street. Tearing them down doesn't help any way whatsoever. Homeless people are not just what they've been stereotyped, and yes, there are some with mental health issues, we know that. And those are also the ones that we really need to get the help that they need to be able to take their medication that they need, get connected with the right people. The problem will not solve itself. You can't just look at a homeless person and know what they've been through to put them in that position either. We can't just assume that it was bad choices in life. We don't know what they've suffered and what they continue to suffer through. I participated in the pick count a few different times, actually, and I've gone to where these people are. It's the homeless that we have or the unhoused. They're not all what you're just seeing in the downtown area. There's also people that they're still maintaining their daily life. They are taking their kids to school. They are going to work, and then they're coming to their quote-unquote home, their car, and they're sleeping in their car overnight. I know this because, again, I've gone where they are. Some of them also just keep to themselves. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to bother the people that are in the downtown. They don't want to bother the businesses. They want to just be away from everyone. There's obviously something that they need help with there as well. When we talk about the homeless, again, having been part of this, there's some different groups I want us to think about. You've got elderly people who have spent their lives working and paying taxes, but now find they can't make ends meet, just like the gentleman we talked about earlier, for one reason or another, and they find themselves homeless. And this is supposed to be their golden years. Again, they've worked all their lives paying taxes, but maybe they don't have any family to take care of them or to be able to help them. I don't think we should just look down on them and put them in a lower class because of what they're going through. We need to get them connected with the right people that can get them connected with the right services through the case management. There are families that are homeless, which include children. We know this. We've talked about this before. There's a lot of kids that the school system are aware are facing housing insecurity. So either they're in danger of losing their home or they have lost their home. And again, they're living out of their car. This is an opportunity for them to have a shower and clean clothes. And we all remember what it was like when we went to school. Kids will say exactly what they think. If these kids have a spot where they can go take a shower and have clean clothes, I think that makes it a lot easier for them to be in the school system and to be around other kids when they're already looking at so many other kids that have so much the more than they have. And the negativity that has been out there, kids pick up on so much more than we realize. I'm so hopeful that they have not seen what is said, because these kids haven't even had a chance to get there, to figure out who they are and start a real life for themselves. And the last thing they need to be is torn down and told they're bad people. And again, I'm not saying the people here are saying that. Let me be very clear on that. I do understand the plight and understand the concerns of everyone here. I want that to be known. I'm reflecting more on what I have seen online and the negativity there. We've also got veterans that are on the street. These are people that, again, they've paid their taxes. They even signed up to put their life on the line for our country. How can we now say we're not willing to serve them after they served us? They risked themselves, and we have no idea, at least I don't. Someone that's been in the military, I would think they would know exactly what many have faced and what they're dealing with. And we know that they suffer from some mental illnesses. Some are on medication. Some have post-traumatic stress disorder. There are so many out there. I know I talked to a gentleman the other night. I know he was homeless. I know based on some things that he told me. And I also know that he's a veteran that's out there. I can't think we want to turn them away for the ability to have ADA-compliant bathrooms and showers. Again, what this is an opportunity for us to be able to buy this, build these bathrooms and these showers, and let Urban Ministries run this facility. Let them do a lot of research to be able to talk to individuals, including our businesses in that downtown area, of how can we work together? How can we help? the situation, not only for the businesses, but for our unhoused. I've been a big supporter of downtown for a long time. I love our downtown area. If I didn't believe this was truly going to be a benefit for all sides, I would not be in favor of it. But as I've said before, we are definitely in need. If we don't do anything, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I want to read just real quick a post that I saw online. In spring of 2024, I found myself at Manna Cafe on one of their shower days. I wanted to sit, talk with, and listen to our transient homeless population to better understand their struggles, successes, needs, and dreams. Among them, I met a gentleman that had walked from Madison Street Kroger to New Providence Boulevard to shower twice a week. He was young, timid, and unsure of his future needs, much less his dreams. Technically, I was almost old enough to be his mother. And let me say, this girl is much younger than me, so that means this kid could be somebody that I guess could be my grandchild. But this was someone's child. It hit me like a ton of bricks, how often I looked away, how often I assumed someone else would help those in need with the dollars I personally donated, no less. Again, we're talking about a shower, a bathroom, laundry facilities, and increased ability to help our unhoused find their way back into a home, just like the older gentleman that we talked about is finding a way back into his home. And honestly, if this helps one person, this federal grant helps one person or one family off the street, isn't it worth it? That's what this grant was meant for. These funds are meant to be able to help these types of individuals and give this type of assistance. Just this past June, we gave $1 million of our property tax dollars to the museum. And I can't understand that we can really say that that has the same effect as what this $750,000 would do to buy this asset, again, to start with simply having this for a day shelter as well as an emergency shelter for when it's extremely cold, for when it's extremely hot, and also for when we have dangerous weather in the forecast, which we all know we are susceptible to. It happens here often. We've had a tornado hit our downtown before. Wouldn't it be nice for them, those that are unhoused, to have a place to be able to go to during those times to be able to take shelter? I just ask that we support this and move forward with this, but continue the conversation. There's still going to be another meeting coming up. I do believe it's on January 15th, the meeting that was originally scheduled, and then we had the other one as well. There's still going to be another meeting. The Homeless Coalition, the Canopy Initiative, they're still going to be meeting monthly. As Ms. Austin did, I invite you to attend. Urban Ministries, again, will be continuing conversations. There are ways for all of us to work together to make this the absolute best situation that we can make it for everyone involved. Thank you.
Councilman McLaughlin, you're recognized.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone to the March 5th, 2026 regular session.
Motion been made and properly seconded to postpone this ordinance to the March? Did you say March?
Yes, sir.
March 5th, 2026 regular session. Properly seconded. Councilman Smith, you're on the list. Did you wish to speak to the motion to postpone?
I'm definitely for postponing this so that the citizens can have their questions and concerns answered. We have many business owners against this, and it's not anything about us not wanting to help the homeless. And let me say that again, it's about us not wanting it in the location that we're trying to purchase. And so it have nothing to do with us not helping the homeless. We help the homeless today, yesterday, today, and forevermore. So what I'm saying is this: I agree with her to postpone this so that we can give the citizens the right to have their answers, their questions and concerns answered. Thank you.
Councilman Holloman on the motion to postpone.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm against postponement. I think we should just go ahead and just deal with this tonight. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to say, but I will wait to see if it gets postponed or not, and that'll be all. Thank you.
Councilman Streetman on the motion to postpone.
Yes, sir. I'm not in favor of us postponing it, and it's not because, again, I don't want the conversation continued. The conversation can still continue. This is a two reading, this is an ordinance which requires two readings. So that means for the next month, this is still going to be ongoing, and we'll have another vote on this at this time. The longer we wait to do anything, the longer it's going to take to be able to offer these services. And as far as the location is concerned, and why this location is because, again, you're already a block or so away from where this is already going on. There are already homeless services at the location we're talking about. And in our downtown area is where we have some amazing nonprofits that are working with these individuals. They are there to be able to serve. You have Legal Aid downtown. You have Operation Stand Down downtown. You've got Montgomery County Veterans Coalition. You've got so many that I could sit here and list off. You've got United Way. You've got a lot of people that are here close by to be able to help them out. On top of that, we've got the transit system, which the bus hub that is close by to there now and is going to be even closer by once that move is made. So I, again, say the conversations can still continue. Ms. Austin has shared her email address, and I know that she has been doing a lot of corresponding. I know that both her and the Director of Urban Ministries has been meeting with individuals to try and talk about them. Like I said, there's another meeting coming up on January 15th. There are plenty of opportunities to be able to continue to talk, and I know that we ourselves have gotten many questions answered from the emails that we've gotten, even that we received at 12:51 a.m. yesterday morning, further answering questions for us from Urban Ministry. So in my opinion, I believe we should move forward knowing how long this process is going to take even to get to the point to be able to build some bathrooms and some showers.
Councilman McLaughlin on your motion to postpone.
I didn't get to make the reasons why I was motioning
I
to
do
postpone.
apologize for
That's
that.
okay, it's fine.
I'll make it up to you.
Okay,
Next
next
meeting.
meeting. I knew that was coming. So, full transparency, I voted in favor of this. I'm a member of the Clarksville Neighborhood and Services Committee. As part of the Restoring Clarksville Initiative and also that committee, there have been long conversations about providing wraparound services for many of the examples that my colleague from Ward 10 spoke about. But the confusion and misinformation and not being able to have that dialogue is the reason I'm asking for the postponement, to give people their opportunity to be heard, to be able to participate in some of the meetings, the Canopy Initiative meetings and other public meetings. And that's the reason for postponement. I discussed this with my town hall attendees last night. They agree. In the end, nobody wants a homeless shelter where they are. But what are we going to do? We need to give people an opportunity to try to better themselves, and that's opportunity. So I know that's a mixed message. I just feel like we should continue the conversation. Give it 60 days so that people can bring up their concerns. Maybe somebody has an alternate location they'd like to donate the property for. There's opportunities, and I just want to be able to let everybody let it run its course. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Marquis on the motion to postpone.
Yes, I have 2 points real quick. Should this postponement happen for March 1st, I would ask Mayor that we move to have somebody appointed by then, so that way Ward 2 can be represented. Since at the meeting last week I went to, there were residents from all across the city. It just wasn't downtown business owner or downtown residents. I saw people from my ward. I met people from Councilperson McLaughlin's ward, so I believe it should be represented if this motion passes. And the second is that I do agree with the postponement because, again, there is a lot of conversation that is happening now that seems like this has opened the floodgates to actually be able to do something permanent here in the future. That there's a lot of people who have resources that seem to be coming to the table with ideas that maybe we can do something better here for Clarksville, and I would like to have the residents' voices heard on that matter. So I agree with the postponement. Those residents also feel as if they have not been heard, that the conversations that were had seem to be more of this is what we're doing, and that's really it. There's no, they have felt that there's no back and forth input, and I believe we should have that. So I'm in favor for the postponement.
To your point about having a representative in place.
Yeah.
For Ward 2, yes, we will, provided this council agrees upon a candidate. When they present themselves at the February regular session, they're required to present themselves and speak to the council, and then we will have a special call session just to vote on the 11th of February. So cancel your vacation plans if you're going to be out of town to be here to name a representative for Ward 2. Councilman Smith, you're recognized on the motion to postpone.
Did you cut me off?
You're live.
Okay, now I'm back. Okay. All right, thank you. As I said, I agree with the motion to postpone. And the location has a lot to do with this. There are about 10 homeless nonprofit organizations in Ward 6. Nowhere else in this city. Everything that has to do with homeless falls within Ward 6, my ward. And also, we can find another place or another building. It doesn't matter if we have this down here or this service here. They walk everywhere. They travel everywhere. There's no set place for homeless people to be. They're everywhere. They know how to get from A to B. If it's on foot, on the bus, they get there. So that shouldn't have anything to do with why we need to build or extend another homeless shelter down here on Union Street. Also, citizens are concerned about their businesses. As a matter of fact, as I said the other day, that while we were doing the interview, there was a homeless man out there cussing, threatening for no reason. So they're facing challenges of whether it's safe to be walking downtown. We'll scare away the visitors, the customers, for the business owners. We don't know if we're going to be safe. And so I think the location needs to be somewhere else. And also, if we run away our visitors, our tourists, people who are touring the city, guess what? There will be a decrease in their financial status for the businesses. So I think postponing this until we get some concrete information would be the best thing to do. Because I've gotten a lot of misinformation at the meeting that we attended on January the 2nd. And I got some misinformation from the people that are leading this. And so I just hope that we will consider the request of the business owners, citizens that are in opposition of this, so that they will have a chance to be heard and understood. It's not that we don't want to help the homeless. We are solely about helping the homeless. You can see all of the almost 10 nonprofits in my ward. We help them every day. We give back. Thank you.
Councilman Lovato on the motion to postpone.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make a statement that because I'm on the Urban Ministries Board, I will be abstaining. Thank you.
Councilman Shekinah on the motion to postpone.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'm in favor of actually not postponing this. We need to vote up or down. Those who oppose it today, they're going to oppose it tomorrow. Those who support it today, they're going to support it tomorrow. Either it's a good thing for the city or it's not a good thing for the city. The people, we get a lot of emails every day, a lot of phone calls every day from both sides. So it's up to us to make a decision. I don't think anything is going to change in a month or 2 months from now. The concern is still going to be there, whether it's good for the city or whether it's not good for the city, whether it's good for downtown or whether it's not good for downtown.
Councilman Streetman, you're recognized.
Yes, sir. I just want to say that comment that was made regarding misinformation being given to us by the people that are leading this, and that being a reason for postponement, that is absolutely not a true case. Miss Austin has done a phenomenal job in educating us all and spoke in extreme detail the other night, and in no way did she tell us anything that wasn't true when she stood up here and spoke to us and answered every one of our questions. Again, I appreciate all that she has done, the heart that she has. I said nothing
You're
wrong.
recognized on a point of order.
Nobody's name has been called, and I don't know why she's calling Miss Austin's name. I said we received misinformation the other night. I didn't say what day or what night. So what you're speaking about is out of order.
No, the chair's going to rule it.
I didn't even call nobody's name and didn't say when I got the information that was wrong. And I have received misinformation.
The chair is going to rule it in order because you said that the people leading it, and you inferred that it
Did I
was Ms.
call her
Austin. No, you didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, back to you.
Don't assume something. Don't assume
Back to you,
anything.
Councilman Streetman, you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Again, Miss Austin has done a phenomenal job in leading for us and leading this department with heart and with concern for all parties involved. And I've appreciated everything that she has done for us. And I do know that.
Point of order. Nobody's talking.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Ho. Let's get back in order, please. We will conduct ourselves. She is not the chair ruled. She's not out of.
Name and then nobody said nothing about nobody's name.
Councilman Streetman, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. I do also want to clear up some information that we were given the other night. I know there was some concern raised regarding a recent stabbing in the downtown area that involved an unhoused individual. I did reach out to the police department to find out more information about that, and there were no reports of any stabbing that has occurred recently downtown involving an unhoused individual. So I do want us to try and clear up anything that is being created from the rumor mill and make sure that everyone, us and the public included, are getting the right information shared with them.
Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Call for the question.
Question's been called for. Any objection to ceasing discussion on the motion to postpone? No objection to ceasing discussion. So we are now voting on the motion to postpone ordinance 45 until the March 5th, 2026 regular session. All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
8 yes, 4 no, 1 abstain.
Motion to postpone passes. We are now back to you, Chairman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 36, 2025, 26, a resolution requesting the Regional Planning Commission to perform a study with regard to Title 11 zoning, Chapter 11, Administration and Enforcement, Section 11.11, amendments affecting the same parcel of land, and return an ordinance for consideration by the Clarksville City Council. The Finance Committee did vote in favor of disapproval. Mayor, I would like to turn the floor over to the sponsor of this resolution so that he has the opportunity to make the motion.
Councilman Chandler, you're the sponsor. You're recognized on your resolution number 36.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to pull this resolution. It was brought to my attention, there's some other parts in this that might need to be cleared up, and I'd rather do them all at one time, so I'm pulling the resolution. Thank you.
Mr. Bittner, how do we properly dispose since the sponsor wants to pull it? Do we postpone it indefinitely? Okay, so the motion would be to postpone indefinitely?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do I hear a second? Properly, well, we got agreement on that. Properly seconded. So the motion by.
Wait a minute, y'all tired of hearing me talk?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The motion is made to postpone indefinitely Resolution 36, properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Resolution 36 is postponed indefinitely. Chairman Streetman.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to now say the favorite line of the Ward 2 representative. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. Neighborhood and Community Services Committee, Chairman Shekina, you're recognized.
Yes, Mayor, the Clarksville Neighborhood and Community Services Home Rehabilitation Update. Right now, we have 19 households in various stages of intake and site review. We have 3 households in active construction and pre-construction. The department has adjusted the eligibility for the program and expanding the low-income households with appraisals up to $300,000 as of now. The rental assistance program. Right now, we have 35 vacancies within the 12-month rental assistance program. The applications are currently open by referrals from the local nonprofits with active case management. So those organizations that are interested in participating with this, they can contact the department at community@cityofclarksville.com for more information. That's community@cityofclarksville.com for more information. Now move on to the Financial Empowerment Center, and that's led by Ms. Carissa Tucker. She's the program manager for that. They presented the Financial Empowerment Circle Implementation Plan on Wednesday at the L&N train station. That plan is in the final stages for submitting for the Financial Empowerment Center grants to the Bloomberg Financial Empowerment Center, and that's due by the end of January. I'd also like to talk about the Canopy Initiative update, just to give an update on that. We want to thank Clarksville Area Urban Ministries, Irene Center for Hope, the Clarksville Montgomery County Action Agency, and the Salvation Army for serving those unhoused residents during the very cold spells over the past few weeks with their warming shelters. Those shelters are going to remain open on the evenings when overnight temperatures drop below 32 degrees. And there's a place online that they can go, or it's best just to call the shelter hotline for those that may be in need of shelter or those who see individuals that may be in need of shelter. Just call the hotline, and that's at 931-472-3355. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions about that committee report? Seeing none, we're ready for Parks and Recreation Committee. Chairman Zacharias, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. 3 Kaleido Kids classes are going to be offered this January at the Crow Recreation Center. Kaleido Kids is an inclusive program for children with autism, special needs, and other disabilities, providing a safe and joyful space to learn and grow. Inspired by a kaleidoscope, it celebrates each child's strengths and builds a connected community through recreational, social, educational, and creative activities. There's one person with Parks and Rec that I hope is paying attention. I know they're watching. Get ready to dive into a winter adventure with the Polar Bear Plunge. Join them on February 7th at New Providence Pool from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for this exciting event where brave, that's one word, participants take the plunge into icy waters to raise awareness for water safety and drowning prevention. Proceeds go to both the free adaptive swim programs for individuals with special needs and our group swim lessons for children across the community. And the Parks and Rec team is looking to hire an aquatics facilities manager, an aquatics team lead, hopefully not for the polar plunge, aquatics superintendent, event facility manager, grounds and facilities crew chief, lifeguard, definitely for the polar plunge, and Parks and Recreation instructor. And if you're interested in joining our team, or for more information and a complete list of programs, classes, and ongoing activities, please visit ClarksvilleParksRec.com or download the app from the Google Play Store or the App Store. And that concludes my report.
All right, any questions about this committee report? Public Safety Committee, Chairman Lovato, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. First, for our Building and Codes report, the Construction Division did 2,298 total inspections. Code Enforcement Division did 111 new cases. The Abatement Division worked 29 work orders, and the total revenue generated was a little over $171,000. The Clarksville Police Department is announcing their Citizens Police Academy. Classes are going to be Tuesday nights, starting March 3rd through May 7th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Applications can be found on the website at clarksvillepd.org. You must be 18 years old with a high school diploma or GED, and the deadline to apply is February 24th. For Clarksville Fire and Rescue, we have 16 recruits who have obtained all required certifications and are set to graduate on January 23rd at 9:30 a.m. at the CFR headquarters, and the council is invited to attend. CFR has used a local grant to upgrade the dive and water search capabilities with live scope sonar and continued dive training and certifications. And CFR will be taking possession of its newest fire engine that will be put in service at Station 5 to serve the Boot Hill area. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions about this committee report? We're now ready for the Transportation, Streets, and Garage Committee. Chairman Smith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. The TSG reports are as follows. Transportation report, they transported a total of 35,658 riders on fixed route buses, which included 7,556 seniors who rode for free. Also, on the Pearl Transit routes, they transported a total of 4,263 riders. The total for the month of December of the riders with CTS was 39,921 riders. That concludes that report. Now we move on to the city garage report. The total number of city work orders was 300. The total parts cost for all city vehicles was $41,343. Also, the fuel purchased by the city garage for on-site fuel pumps, unleaded cost was $69,187. That's for a total gallons of unleaded for 36,337. Diesel total was cost was $18,237. The diesel gallons were 8,050. Fuel costs for unleaded decreased. It was $1.99. It was a 3% increase. It went down to $1.93 per gallon in December. The fuel cost for diesel also decreased by 22%. It was $2.84 in November. However, it went down to $2.21. There is no report given to me from the street department. So this concludes my reports. Thank you.
Any question or comment regarding this committee report? We're now ready for two items under new business. Item A, Resolution 38, 2025-26, a resolution approving the appointment of Mark Riggins as the General Manager of the Clarksville Gas and Water Department. The Gas and Water Board, newly created board, has recommended this resolution. I'll entertain a motion in a second. Motion and properly seconded. Councilman Smith, you're recognized for a
Yes,
question.
Mayor, I got a question, and just for clarity, so the people could understand it as well that's watching this video. So we have to reappoint him since we appointed a board, so that moved him out, and then we have to put him back in? Is that what we're doing?
The board is making the recommendation to appoint him as general manager, and
Yeah.
yes, when we created the board, it stated in the ordinance that they would have to appoint a general manager.
Okay.
So that's their recommendation.
So that kicked him out, and then we have to reappoint him.
It
Is that
didn't
correct?
kick him out, we're just
But he still wouldn't
affirming.
hold the position if we hadn't appointed the board. He still would have the position. We wouldn't have to do this.
Right, if we hadn't appointed the board, it would be business as usual.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So, I mean, say it how you want to. He was left out. Okay. After we appointed the board, say it how you want to. But, okay, we have to put him back on there. Okay. So procedure order has
Yes.
to be taken care of. We messed up some procedures. Okay. Go right
No,
ahead.
no, we didn't mess up, we're just tightening up.
Okay. We fixing it up. Okay.
All right, any other comment or question regarding this resolution? All members, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Resolution 38 is adopted. Mr. Riggins, please report to 2251 Madison Street tomorrow morning by 8 o'clock. All right. We're now ready for item B, Resolution 39, 2025-26. The sponsor is Chairman McLaughlin. You are recognized on item B.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 39, 2025-26 is a resolution authorizing an interlocal agreement between the City of Clarksville and the Pennyrile Regional Energy Agency, as explained by Mr. Riggins on Tuesday. This will benefit us and offer us redundancy in our gas service, and I make a motion for approval.
Motion been made and properly seconded in favor of Resolution 39. Councilman McLaughlin, any final words on this?
That concludes my report.
All right, you've heard the explanation, and we've discussed it. Any comment or question? Hearing none, seeing none, are you ready to vote? All members, please cast your vote. Every member voted. Any member wish to change their vote? Madam Clerk, please take the vote.
13 yes, 0 no, 0 abstain.
Resolution 39 is adopted. We're now ready for mayor and council member comments. Ladies and gentlemen, as a councilmanic courtesy, I would ask you to make your comments, and then we will leave the final comment to our departing council member, Councilman McLaughlin. So Councilman Streetman, you're recognized for comments.
Thank you, sir. I've got two different things to speak on. For one, I want to talk if being in freezing cold water and possible need of resuscitation is not quite your thing, but you still want to do something fun and give back to our community, I would encourage you to attend the fashion show that'll be held by Bella's Closet on February 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Austin P. Dunn Center. Tickets are $25. I promise you, come out. You will have an absolutely great time. Bella's Closet is a phenomenal organization in our community. Their mission is to empower women for success by serving and mentoring to provide a positive impact and experience in our community. Again, tickets are $25 per person. You can buy them online by visiting bellascloset.org, or you can buy them in person at Bella's Closet, located at 108 Craft Street, Wednesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So again, please come out and join us. You might see a couple of us there participating in it. So, secondly, to the council person from Ward 2, I know you'll be speaking in just a moment, but I want to thank you for your time on this council. I have thoroughly enjoyed serving with you. I have learned so much from you, and I will miss having you here. And the mayor was correct in his statement. It is bittersweet because we couldn't have any better cheerleader fighting for us on a national level. So for that, I do thank you. But most importantly, I thank you for everything over our 3 years here together, but our time prior to that as well. So thank you for your leadership. Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you for getting this council involved in so many different things. Thank you for the sweets also. But there's definitely going to be big shoes for all of us to fill to be able to make sure that, since you won't be here leading the charge to have us involved in so many different activities, we're going to have to be sure and pick up that weight and be able to be out there in the community and participating just the way you've always encouraged us to do. So thank you, and I wish you good luck.
Councilman Haywood, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm not going to repeat what the councilwoman from 10 said. I feel the same way. I'm glad to have worked with you on the council, and I think my favorite part of coming in every day was seeing something on my desk here. It was so much fun. You never know what you're going to get. But I also want to thank you, and I hope that when you leave, I can still reach out and get some good feedback. Second thing, I also want to wish my wife a happy 30th birthday. I missed dinner tonight to be here, so I hope my bed on the couch is ready when I get home. I'm just kidding. That's all I have.
I think I saw Glover's lock changing the locks. Councilman Chandler, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to publicly thank Councilwoman McLaughlin. She has been an inspiration to me. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but we've become real close and good friends. And I appreciate what she does, what she will continue to do, and if I could, I'd make a motion to deny your resignation.
Properly motioned and properly seconded. Unfortunately, we can't do that, so it's out of order, sir. Sorry. Councilman Peters, you're recognized.
I just want to state for the record, how everybody's talking about the sweets. For the record, I weighed 160 pounds when I started. But, so that's a big deal there. But I want to thank Councilperson McLaughlin for assisting me in my endeavor to join this council and be a member of this body. If it wasn't for her advice and dedication to assisting me, I don't know if I would have known the right path to take. So I appreciate that from you, and I'm going to miss you up here, kicking me under the table here, about 5 times tonight already.
It was an accident.
But I'm going to miss you, and I appreciate everything you've brought to me, and I know that I'll be able to come to you for future advice. So I wish you luck with your new endeavor with Mr. Van Epps, and hopefully we get some good national recognition out of this. So thank you.
Councilman Holloman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been a wild ride, and I appreciate everything you did, and just from the bottom of my heart, like I will miss you, Deanna. So thank you.
Anyone else before I call on Councilman McLaughlin? I will say that the noted author G.K. Chesterton noted that greatness wasn't rooted in your accomplishments, but rather in your service to others. By that very definition, Councilman McLaughlin, you are great. You are recognized.
Thank you. Let me compose myself. And I'm gonna read from my notes so that I don't fall off track here. To my neighbors in Ward 2 and the citizens of Clarksville, first and foremost, I want to give thanks to God for the strength, wisdom, and grace He provided me throughout this journey. It's been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your voice on the City Council. For 15 years, I have walked through our neighborhoods, listened to your concerns, and served in this chamber to advocate for the place we call home. As I prepare to transition into a new role, I want to share a few reflections on our journey together. On December 7th, 2025, last night, I had the privilege of holding, as it was mentioned by Mr. Lopez, my 160th public town hall meeting. Since I first took office in 2007, these meetings have been the heartbeat of my service. Transparency isn't just a buzzword, it's a commitment. Thank you all for showing up, asking the hard questions, keeping me accountable for every single vote. Since returning to represent Ward 2 in 2022, I've tackled longstanding issues that required persistence and a refusal to back down. Protecting our neighborhoods, I have fought tirelessly to protect integrity of our single-family residential neighborhoods by advocating for responsible zoning and commercial overlays. We ensured the character of our homes remained a priority in the face of rapid city growth. After more than 20 years of an illegal pet rescue operating out of a mere 1,100 square foot house, and with the help of Mr. Bittner and Mr. Smith and Justin Crosby, we finally resolved the issue for the sake of public health, animal welfare, and neighborhood peace. We have successfully implemented life-saving signalized crosswalks at New Providence Middle School and the intersection of Jordan and South Jordan Road across the 101st Urban Parkway to safely connect pedestrians to the new library that the county has provided. And also, thanks to all of you, we have funding in the budget for much-needed sidewalks along both sides of Lafayette Road. I'm incredibly proud of the upgrades to Ewing Burchett Park, and investing in our local parks ensures our families have a safe, modern, and beautiful place to gather. Through the Restoring Clarksville initiative, which I appreciate the mayor giving me the opportunity to lead, we have worked to restore economic and aesthetic value to our history and aging neighborhoods. I express my profound admiration for the departments that stood with Ward 2 during our most recent and trying times, during the May 2023, February 2024, and April 2024 flooding events. I witnessed the absolute best part of our city. To CPD, CFR, the street department, community and neighborhood services, and the city legal team, your amazing help and rapid response allowed us to get resources where they were most needed. You're the backbone of our city. I especially want to thank Mayor Pitts. Under your administration, I found a partner who is willing to listen. Mayor Pitts allowed me to work on items of priority that I was simply not permitted to accomplish during the previous mayoral administration. I'm grateful for your support and friendship, and we'll be partners for life. Beyond policy, I will deeply miss the camaraderie and passion of my colleagues. Serving along people who share a genuine love for this city has been highlighted the past 3 years. I appreciate the decorum, although one member left, and this was who this statement was provided for, and professionalism of those same persons. We didn't always agree, but I believe that we all did the work that our people elected us to do. Holding elected office is not for the faint of heart. It requires a level of resilience that many do not see. I've always maintained that serving is more important than just attending meetings. It's being prepared by doing your own research, engaging the people that you represent, and asking the tough questions. The residents of Ward 2 deserved a representative who arrived at every session fully informed, ready to advocate. While the constant scrutiny and the sting of personal attacks can be exhausting, the progress of our city is worth the price of the battle. Thank you for electing me 4 times to be your voice and, when necessary, your warrior. As I vacate this seat, I am sincerely hopeful that the City Council will appoint a successor for Ward 2 who possesses a genuine heart for service. I hope for a representative who will continue the fight for the people of Ward 2 and this city as a whole with the same passion and dedication we have built over our tenure here together on the City Council. Public service is never a solo endeavor. To my husband and daughter, Caitlin, thank you. When I was first elected, Caitlin was only 8 years old. Because of my husband's military service, it was often just the 2 of us. Caitlin literally grew up inside the halls of City Hall in this council chamber, becoming the unofficial mascot of the City Council as my +1 at many events. To see the woman she has become while supporting me through the harshness of social media has been my greatest joy. I also extend my deepest thanks to my dear friends. Your texts of encouragement on behalf and your belief in the mission were amazing. You knew Deanna the person, not just Deanna the councilman, and that support was deeply appreciated. While I'm resigning my seat to serve as the Deputy District Director for Congressman Van Epps, I'm not leaving you. My husband and I will continue to live in Clarksville. This is our home. I'm simply moving to a different vantage point to continue fighting for Clarksville, Montgomery County on a larger scale. To my fellow council members, city staff, and residents of Ward 2, thank you. It has been a long, rewarding journey. God bless you, and God bless the city of Clarksville. And that concludes my report.
And because it is your final meeting, we'll give you the honor of making the motion to adjourn. Without objection, we're adjourned.